Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I can't believe that we're doing back to back. It's so crazy how that goes. It's been a while since we've done a back to back, but it's nice to be able to do that again. So, real quick, while I wait for you guys to come on in here, I wanted to thank Piper. There was a Piper who had sent me a super chat in that teen mom family reunion recap that I had just done, and it came in after I ended the stream. I was like, oh, damn it. Her name was Piper. Sorry, Piper. If you're in here, please, please, please make sure to let me know. So, in today's stream, I really want to talk to you guys about what else, right? Kail and Javi have decided to, fall out once again. It seems to be like an annual occurrence for them. Like they hate each other, then they become like the best of friends, or at least they try to convince us. It was Piper Sandoval. Thank you so much. They try to convince us that they're the best of friends. And then what happens, right? Inevitably. After like a couple of months, because it never lasts that long, they fall out again. They hate each other. It is the end of the world. So that is like the big T that we have to talk about in the stream. And I'm going to like play the action for you in a series of screenshots and videos as well. Hi, Tasha. Welcome to the channel membership. Good morning from Brisbane. Morning already. That's so crazy because it's like not 8 o'clock over here. Wow. Morning already. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome back, Piper. Nice to have you here. Perfectly Piper. I knew things would go back to just being the way they used to in some time. Yes. And it's so crazy when you think about all of the things that they started building together, thinking that their friendship would last forever, right? And that is exactly what I really want to get into with you guys. Piper says, hi, Grace, ready for this mess of a recap. I need it after a long day at work looking after screaming children. I'm supposed to be doing uni work, but I'd rather chill and crochet with you. Well, thanks for being here, Piper. I can't imagine, going from dealing with all these kids to trying to focus and do your work. It's so exhausting, I imagine. Oh, and Piper Sandoval, who sent me the super chat earlier, thanks again, is here. Hi. Thanks for joining us. Hi, May. Yep, they are absolutely at it again. They will never stop. So before we get into the saga that is Kailyn's relationship with Javi Marroquin, I wanted to do a quick recap of the podcast episode that kind of leads into all of this. Shannon Van is here again. Thank you, Shan. Wow. Welcome to your first live, Lizzie. It's so nice to have you here. Yeah, Melanie, maybe you're right. It is a weekly falling out. So at the very top of the podcast episode, Baby Mama's No Dramas, Kail tells V and the listeners, us, that she was watching some horror movies with her kids. Like they do this rotating movie night where one of the kids each week gets to decide on the movie. This week, it was Lincoln's turn to decide on the film. And Lincoln is a horror movie geek. Like he loves them. So he decided to watch something. And the thing is, Kail doesn't want to let us know the title of the movie because it's that bad. She's like, listen, you guys are going to cancel me for letting my kids all watch this. And by that, she means including Lux, who's what, like 3-4 years old. So she's like, I'm not going to tell you what film it is, but it was very, very scary. And Kail herself doesn't like horror films. So she was, going through it herself in order to make Lincoln happy. So then I found something kind of ironic after that, because then it leads to a segue about her falling out with friends and stuff. And she says that she has decided to end some friendships in her life because she doesn't like the way that some of her friends parent. And as soon as I heard that, I really wanted to hear you guys' opinion on the situation, because Kail, right? It's kind of like the resident train wreck of teen mom too. She's got the 4 kids by the 3 different men, and the last 2 share the same father, who she is always accused of being a deadbeat. So like, is that great? She was moving the boys farther away from their very active fathers to be closer to the guy that she claims is a deadbeat. Like, if anything, it kind of sounds more like Kail's friends were ending their friendships with her because they didn't like the way that she parented, because, it's a little chaotic over there. She very proudly refers to her parenting, situation, or her home situation for the boys as chaos. But maybe that is something that her friends were just not feeling, and they just, they didn't support it. They didn't want to be around it anymore. Rachel, hi from Houston. It is so cold down here. Hey, Rachel. So sorry for the cold. We're kind of cold over here too. I think it's like 4 degrees right now, but normally during the days we get up to about 8 degrees, which is kind of chilly still. I hope it warms up soon. We're so close to March, February is a short month, so March is real close. It's springtime. So after she talks a little bit about, the falling out with the friends and stuff like that, she said that she learned from her therapist. Every time Kail talks about her therapist, I'm like, oh, really? You actually do go? Okay. I don't know. Like, is it for fun or something? Because you're not really applying stuff to your life, right? So she says that her therapist told her, listen, you got to stop putting expectations on relationships, because Kail, she's saying, listen, normally when I head into relationships and stuff, I'm usually thinking with the end goal in mind. She claims that her end goal is, is this someone I can end up marrying? But it seems more like her end goal is, can I have a kid with this person, right? But I digress. Hey, Emily, first chat. You look absolutely beautiful. Love your videos. Thank you so, so much. Oh, it's so nice to have you here. Welcome. May, what the F? Not the beach. Who has... Did I just read this word? Who has taught them nothing but toxic relationships? Right. I'm like, sis, you are one to talk. Piper, part of me wishes that Javi and Petty Betty would get back together for the sake of the kids. But when you remember how toxic they are to each other and other people, is Susie still in touch with Kail? Great question. Kail mentioned that Susie had tried to reach out a little while ago, but that they didn't really make any contact, because Kail knows that Susie is still with that man. She's been with a guy since Kail was on 16 and pregnant. And Kail doesn't like that guy. That guy, booted her out of the house and stuff like that. So she did not pick up the call. And she also felt as though her mom was still not sober. So that was another reason, Piper, why Kail still does not want to have contact with her mom. So as far as I'm aware, based on her podcast stuff, no. The mom might be trying to reach out a little bit, but Kail is not trying to hear it. Melanie, Petty Betty has some nerve judging anyone else's parenting when she gets either a new house or a new baby daddy every year. Thank you so much for reminding me, because that is the other thing, right? Like, outside of like all of the baby daddies, all of the babies and stuff, she is constantly moving, right? And now she just started moving into her quote unquote dream house. It was supposed to be her dream house that she was building from scratch and everything. But in the middle of the building process, she goes, you know what? I don't like that, like, this little portion or whatever. I don't like this little, I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was like the dimensions of some of the rooms, or like not having this one room or something like that. She decided that she wants to build another house afterwards. So this is not going to be the forever home after all, which is a little bit funny, you guys, I have to say, because when I was doing a rewatch of before, I want to say it was before Creed was born, Kail was about to move and she's driving around. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but she's driving around with Lux. And she is promising Lux that it's the last time that they're ever going to have to move. And I'm trying to remember like when that was and how many times they've moved since then. I want to say they've moved at least twice now that they're going into this new build since then. And now it's about to be a third time because she doesn't like this dream home anymore. She wants another one. It's a lot. That's why I'm like, really? You're the one? Okay. Lovely. Your image reminds me, what type of dolls are those? Because I used to play with these dolls before, like, in the early, like, internet days, those little icon dolls or whatever. It reminds me so much of that. I had like a collection of them. Yeah, I've definitely distanced myself from people because I didn't like their parenting. Good mom friendships are important for mindful parenting. And that's a good way to put it. You really want people who you feel like, compliment the way that you run things, or at least parent their kids in a way that you respect too. Piper says, didn't she move to a house specifically to be closer to Chris? She exactly did. And she pulled her kids out of their school bus district in order to do that. So then their commute between her house and their respective fathers' homes became incredibly long. And not only that, Kail wanted the fathers to make the entire route instead of them meeting each other halfway. She's like, they're like, no, you're the one who decided to move all the way out there. I'm not going all the way to Middletown. You've got to meet me halfway. It was crazy. She didn't like the countertops. That's why she wants to completely move into a new house again. What? Countertop? Can't she just pull out the countertops? Because if it was like room dimensions or amount of rooms or something, I would get it. But countertops, that's like the most basic thing ever. What? That's like being like, listen, my light bulb is out, so I'm gonna have to move to a new house. This is just not working for me. It's kind of dark in here. Alexis, hey girl, she's always here. I love it. I thought she moved there to be closer. Yes, to be closer to Chris. Listen, that girl was digmatized. It's so sad. Melanie says, you're right, Grace. She promised the kids the mansion she bought would be closer to Chris. Oh, so the mansion is close. I thought it was just that last one that we were seeing on the last season of Teen Mom 2 that was closer to Chris. Then she went back to Dover. The mansion. Okay. Kail, you're a mess, girl. You were a mess. Lovely says, okay, so yes, it is those icons I used to play with. They're dolls. I had them printed out and cut all over my folders. I love it. That reminds me of like the Mycene dolls and stuff. I used to play so much online. Oh my God. I used to love those little Arthur games too. So you guys, later on in the podcast, Kail claims that she is a realist and not a pessimist. And she really hates how people see her as like this negative person. Kail's like, I'm not a negative person. I just see things from a very realistic perspective. But isn't this the same girl who was like, maybe I'll marry the baby's dad? The same baby's dad who she didn't know if he would actually turn up to the birth of said baby. I don't know, girl. Realist or birdist? You tell me. Remember how shortly after she finished studying and getting her communications degree, she was posting online about, pursuing further education. So she was between two things. First, she posted a nursing textbook and she claimed that she was about to head into nursing school next. Then she started posting with the LSAT books and claiming that she wanted to go into law school next. And so people were like, which is it? Is it either one or none of them? I don't know. And Kail now is saying that she still does want to be a lawyer one day when she grows up. So maybe, just maybe, that is in the future for her. Listen, if that's what she wants to do, I hope that she goes ahead and does it and succeeds at it. Why not? Piper says, not to be funny, but it's a double standard with Corey harping at Leah for moving a lot, which she did. But at least Leah did it for the right reasons and not following DICK. Oh my God. It's been so long since Leah was moving around. I feel like she's been at that like house that she has now that she bought for a really long time, but she was moving around a lot. But wasn't she like also like really high out of her mind through a couple of these moves? Because I remember this one house she had with the fluorescent green carpeting that was so filthy. And then the garage was so filthy and stuff because she was just too, into like the drugs to, manage the homes and stuff. I need to go back on that. But yeah, that could be it, And I remember now too, when it came to Corey and Leah, she wanted the kids to have accessible bathrooms, right? And stuff in a home for Allie. And Corey wanted a truck or something. I don't know if it was just portrayed that way, but yeah, she was definitely in the right when it came to that. Outside of Kail wanting to be a lawyer one day, she talks about, her 90-day fiance style relationships. And I want to talk, right? Being abroad and stuff and dating abroad. But she says that once she went to Jamaica and she had this Jamaican boyfriend. And she really liked this Jamaican boyfriend and the lifestyle in Jamaica. V really loved Jamaica as well. She's like, I never felt at peace anywhere and just happy and like, free like I did in Jamaica. And Kail agreed on that. And then she talks about like dating this guy in Jamaica. And she actually wanted him to come live in the United States with her, you guys. Did you guys hear that? She wanted this man from Jamaica to come live. And I had no idea. I didn't even know the girl went to Jamaica. Yeah. So she's like, I tried to get him to come over, but he works on a boat in crystal clear water, perfect weather. He was like, I'm not giving this up to go live in Dover with you, girl. Sorry, but no, that's not happening. And I'm like, you know what? I totally get it. I would not either. And so he asked her, why don't you come move to Jamaica to be with me? And Kail, obviously, because she's got, kids, she can't just pick up and move somewhere. So that did not happen either. So that's the kind of back and forth situation that they had in their relationship. I know, Melanie. It is so damn funny. And then she actually had another boyfriend from abroad that she was talking about. She didn't really say like what country the other boyfriend was from, but she said that she ran into the same situation where, she really liked this guy from a country she was visiting. She wanted him to come live in the United States, but he did not want to give up his life in his, country to go live in Dover with her. And then V talks about how she wants to own a vacation rental in like Jamaica or Puerto Rico or whatever. And Kail wants to do that too with them. She wants to partner up with them on that, which I'm kind of like, listen, Kail has volatile relationships with everybody, right? Like, is she actually going to be able to like long-term have a business and a home and stuff with Joe and V? I don't think so. Listen, the podcast is one thing, right? Like you could just unplug your microphone when you're tired of each other, which they did that one time, but a house and stuff that's going to be hard to get out of. So I'm not sure, but they talked about it. And one thing that I do like that Kail is doing right now, she's trying to get her sons more in touch with their roots. So right now with, for example, Lux and Creed, with Chris being part Mexican, she really wants to have, bring them to Mexico, the non-touristy side of Mexico. I don't know if she's in touch with his family who's there. I don't know why. Like that's not a thought or something like that. But she, she's also trying to learn Spanish and everything just to be connected to them as well. And so she wants to have a second or a third or whatever, how many houses she has now, home in Mexico to help bring Lux and Creed closer to their heritage. And then the whole Guatemala thing with Lincoln. And then, if Joe and V do get their home in Puerto Rico, that'll be perfect for Isaac because that's his, Hispanic heritage, Puerto Rico. So, she really wants to get into that, which I think is amazing. Good for her. And, of course, we can't have a podcast episode without really getting into Chris Lopez, you guys. Here we go. Piper says, I think Leo wanted a new house because, that was it. The bath was falling apart. Corey wanted a truck instead, but at the same time, he heard Leo cheating on him. There was so much going on in that era. I feel so bad for them. They were too young and just not emotionally, mentally stable enough to deal with all that they had to deal with, poverty, twins, a child with, disabilities and stuff. It was a lot for them. May says, I'm not surprised. I swear I always knew that's how it would end up for her. LMA. Oh, you are telling me. Rachel, I mean, who would be willing to move to Dover unless you're going into military or family? I don't blame that guy. I feel the exact same way. Like, how Leah Messer's sister just got married to that guy from Costa Rica. I'm like, really? You left Costa Rica to go live in West Virginia? God bless. Let's see how long you last. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like she's living in like Florida or like California or New York or Texas or just, one of the other like interesting cities and states or whatnot. Like, West Virginia. Sorry, I want a refund. I would want a refund. No offense to West Virginia, but Costa Rica, West Virginia. Guatemala is gorgeous. It seems very beautiful, eh? It really, really does. Now, you guys, Kail goes on about Chris per usual, and so she kind of compares him to Kanye West. Yeah. She doesn't mention his name, but she talks about a guy she dated for 5 years. We all know that's Chris. And she, Kanye was, has been kind of going off the deep end a little bit more lately with like all the gossip and rumors that he's spreading about Kim Kardashian and stuff. So she and V talk about it, and they talk about how Kanye kind of sounds a little like dumb when he speaks. Like, when he appeared on Keeping Up with the Kardashians and stuff, he didn't sound like this genius that he always built himself up to be. And so that's what they say. And then Kail goes, I dated a guy for like a really long time who was kind of like that, like in our personal lives, like I thought he was a very brilliant, like creative, like funny, smart person. But then when he appeared on camera, he did not appear to be smart. Like he seemed very dumb and emotionally stunted. And those were two words that people really used to describe Chris's brief appearance on Teen Mom 2 when he thought that he wouldn't be able to be, aired on the show. Remember? He was like cursing out all the cameras, giving them all middle fingers and stuff, and just like flirting with her, trying to look at her house build plans and stuff. Like he didn't seem like a smart person at all. So to me, it was pretty obvious that she was throwing shade at him there. But also low-key complimenting him because she's like, oh, in private, he seems smart and creative and all these great things. By the way, I'm looking forward to him having his own segment in the upcoming season of Teen Mom 2, especially knowing that Kail is not filming right now. Like, maybe he'll get more screen time than her. Can you imagine? So she talks about how one of her neighbors in her new home build is a hottie. She's been secretly taking pictures of him. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think about that? Would you like it if your neighbor was secretly taking pictures of you to tell everyone that they think you're hot? I would not. I know I've had like attractive neighbors, but I've never thought to take pictures of them and share them with my friends or something. Like, weird, but okay. So she says that she, took his photo and sent it to a couple of her friends and stuff. And so one of her friends is really good at like creeping on people. So he found out, the social media of this guy, that he had a girlfriend, where he worked and stuff like that, which I found pretty creepy just based off of a photo. I'm like, did you ask around? How many times did this photo get circulated before that kind of information came back, or did they go on Google image search? I don't know. But it would make me uncomfortable to learn that somebody, did all of that with me personally. Piper says he'll soon have an MTV special called Being a Costa Rican Daddy with an American Girlfriend. Stranger things have happened, right? Like, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo's girlfriend getting that show on Netflix. I tried watching it because I'm like, ooh, I'm learning Spanish. This would be cool. I thought he would speak Portuguese, and I love that language as well. I think it's so beautiful. So I tried watching it. I never heard of her or him being in a relationship or whatever. I was like, huh. Like, all she does is kind of talk about how she used to be poor. Like, that's it. Like, she'll be on a yacht. I used to be poor. She'll be like at an atelier or something like that, getting a custom made beautiful dress. This is nothing like I used to, but I was like, huh, that's interesting. Okay. Interesting. Lovely says, oh my God, me too. Excited to see if they film Chris and Brie in Florida together. Imagine, especially with a lawsuit situation going on. Chris has been subpoenaed to be one of Brianna's witnesses. So will they be heading into court together? This could be interesting. Kail took a 6-month break from filming, but she's back. Exactly. 6 months is a long time in that reality world. How many months out of the year do they film, right? Like 8 months max or something like that. I didn't even know they filmed this long either. So she's not going to have much time to make up for lost time. And I think Chris will bring the heat. Piper says, taking pictures, what? That is so creepy. I agree. It kind of made me feel a little eerie too. Like, especially if it was a man doing that to a woman, I think that it would have like a very strong response. I think it would be a little bit more widespread in terms of like a headline. May says, I thought Kail is back to filming and Chris is already complaining that MTV is not listening to any of his suggestions. Oh God. Suggestions for what? Creative control? Please, you just got here, sir. Yes, Kail is back to filming, but listen, Chris has been filming for months now, right? So they've got more content on him than they've got on her, and they're gonna wrap up in a couple of months or something like that. So she kind of shot herself in the foot holding out as long as she did, unless she got a pay raise. If she got a pay raise, then good for her. But it is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. So now, in my final point about the podcast episode, before we get into Kail and Javi falling out again and me showing you the videos and stuff, what happened is she claims, oh, actually, no, this is it. This is it. Now we're moving into Kail and Javi. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. So Kail and Javi. Kail went on her TikTok, you guys, and she decided to do a TikTok trend. And this is a very new trend with Javi. I had to strip the audio from this because of copyright. If they listen to this, they'll pull the stream in the middle of me playing it for you guys. So I can't. Okay. So there's this new trend on TikTok where you just like, something come and play. Hey, every day. That's the song. And so you're supposed to like be face to face with someone and like doing it in their face, right? Spreading a little bit of COVID. And so she decides to do it with Javi, but she's not doing it like nose to nose with him. She decides to do it another way. And this way is still pretty damn cozy, okay? So we're going to get into that for sure when I finish up with these comments. Was Chris going with Brie payback for when Devon appeared on Kail's podcast? It seemed like it was. It seemed like Brianna reached out to him in a payback sense. And or maybe he reached out for something too, because he did end up spilling a lot of tea about his relationship with Kail and Kail allegedly assaulting him as well. Miss Shantae, thank you so much for this super chat. She says, hey girl, I found your channel last year and I've been obsessed ever since. LOL, love you. Thank you so much. It's so nice to have you here. Thank you so much, Miss Shantae. That's so nice. Melanie says, I would be elated if they cut Kail out of the first few episodes and gave her screen time to Chris and Brianna. Me to imagine the alliance and how crazy she would go. She would go nuts. She's already going mad over Teen Mom Family Reunion, right? So let me play this for you guys right now, okay? So this is the TikTok, and basically Yeah, you're supposed to be nose to nose, but she decides to just, kind of do it a different way. So she's, but wait, bitches come and play, hey, every day. And then she gets on top of Javi. I hope you guys like that. Me doing the little bit of the audio for you because I can't put the real audio. But here she is. She gets on top of him like this. And that sent TikTok crazy. They go, oh, you guys, what is going on? Are you guys back together? Are you flirting? You guys are looking really, really cozy. And it did seem for a long time that they were trying to get back, not trying to get back together, but they were at least banging or something like that. Because, he was doing their podcast. They were flirting hardcore on the podcast. They talk so much about like all the extra stuff they do for Lincoln's football and whatnot. And then, Kail wants to represent him in this new venture she's launching. She's launching Killer Entertainment, which is going to be an influencer marketing agency. Javi is one of her clients. So they had a lot of stuff lined up. They wanted to do a podcast together, you guys. Like, they had a lot of stuff lined up, right? They were constantly like filming themselves, driving together, doing all sorts, spending time. He was taking her to Target. They were like, hanging out in each other's hotel rooms. Like, they were really getting close and stuff. So when this happened, myself, I downloaded it immediately. Like, oh snap, what is going on here? Like, are they confirming something? But literally the same day that Kail posts this, she goes on to say that they fell out already. Her caption on it, you can't see it here because it's a stripped down version, but her caption, I'm going to pull it up. It said something to the effect of, enjoy this because we're not friends anymore. Can you imagine that you post something specifically with that caption? It's like, okay, well, if you guys don't like each other anymore, you don't want to be around each other anymore, why post it in the first place, right? Like, unless you're trying to antagonize someone. It's weird. It's someone I no longer liked. If I don't like you anymore, and I make it clear to you that I don't like you, and you go online and you post this of us together, I would probably call you up and be like, well, what's your problem? Like, are you well? What are you doing? We're not friends. I don't like you. You don't like me. So why are you posting this? Like, are you that thirsty? You know what I mean? So I pulled it up. Her exact thing said, we aren't friends anymore, but I have this in my drafts. Oh, I didn't read the hashtags until now, you guys. These are her hashtags. Hashtag X, hashtag toxic, hashtag family. What do you think? Who's toxic? Kail or Javi? Both? Personally, I think it's both, right? But wow. Why post this? Just to go ahead and use hashtag toxic and stuff. Because, here's another thing. Kail talks about how Isaac is on TikTok. So who's to say that this won't pop up on his feed? And I don't know. I'm not sure for certain or whatever. I don't know for certain. But I believe Lincoln is also on TikTok. So what happens if Lincoln sees this of his father and his mother? Hashtag X, hashtag toxic. Who's toxic, mom? Like, that is very, very nasty. And this is why, we call her Petty Betty, because she has no kind of sense. She's very weird. Very, very weird. Yeah. Here's the thing. It seems as though Javi was, doing all of this stuff behind his girl's back. And that is why, a big reason why they've fallen out at this point. I don't know. See, Alexis, yeah, I think they're both toxic. It's so weird whenever someone always calls people toxic and not themselves. For example, Megan King Edmonds, that girl from Housewives of Orange County. Oh, girl, she's crazy, right? She just got married for all of 5 minutes, for the third time, and she's like, oh, I attract like narcissistic people. It's like, well, what about yourself? You're like the common denominator in all these broken marriages. You're the one that like got married in 10 seconds and got, wants to get divorced 20 seconds in. Like, what does that say about you? Same with Christina Hack, that girl who was with Tarek. They're both crazy, but like, she also plays victim too. It's like, girl, you just got married for 10 seconds after your divorce. You got divorced 10 seconds after that, and then you're engaged to somebody else 10 seconds. Like, there's something wrong with you guys too. Like, you can't just cry victim all the time. It's weird. Anyway, let's get into the comment section, you guys. Okay, so let's see. Can I do a better layout here? No, I cannot. Oh, wow, I can't. No, I cannot. So these are some of the comments that wound up catching my eye in the comment section. So here's the first one, right? It says, please tell me this is a joke. Y'all were best friends last week. And then Kail says it's not a joke with a laughing face emoji. It actually turned out, I didn't get a screenshot of it. All I saw was people saying that Javi came in, commented something, then deleted his comment, and actually deleted his entire TikTok account afterwards. And so Kail, she kind of just sums it up and says that Javi was actually just cursing her out for posting this TikTok. And ironically enough, it is still up. So it's like, okay, this guy doesn't like it. You talk a lot about how your therapist teaches you about boundaries and stuff, Kail, but you are knowingly crossing his boundary about not wanting this out there, and you're laughing about it, and you're trying to intimate that he's the toxic one. To me, that sounds like you're kind of toxic yourself, sis. Like, that is pretty toxic behavior. If you tell someone you don't want something on the internet and they just post it up, especially if they have a following this big and they laugh about it, sorry, but you're kind of toxic. Hi, Princess Tia. Thanks so much for being here. It was nice chatting with you in the earlier stream as well, the recap. What was the next screen grab? Let's see what the next one was. The next one was this one. Someone rightfully says, hey, Kail, I feel like you guys' relationship status changes a lot. And then Kail claims that it doesn't, after she just starts laughing about how they fell out again. Like, is she okay? Honestly, I really wonder what goes on in her head. She seems so damn delusional sometimes. Like, what do you mean it doesn't? It does. You guys are falling out all the damn time. Not just with him, but with everybody in your life. Your relationship status with everybody changes all the damn time. Kail. Hi, Katiana. Nice to see you here. She's addicted to drama, but plays the victim, and her fans fall for it. Yeah, exactly. Like, people started eating this poor girl up in the comments. They're like, no, they don't. Stop it. You're lying. Yeah, they do. Kail cannot keep a friendship or a relationship to save her life. She always has a revolving door of people for a reason. And now, in the final set of screenshots that I got about the situation, it's basically confirmed that he got a new girlfriend. So this is the only comment that Kail liked, and that's why it seems that way. So this person goes, so what you're saying is Jalapeno has found a special friend again and can't be your friend anymore. So Kail likes it, kind of just to go, that's exactly what happened. I don't know, you guys. What do you think about it? Does that make it worse or better for you? So she's saying that this was in her drafts, but this trend is pretty new, you guys. I've only seen it start popping up on TikTok maybe a couple days ago. So it's not like it was a long time ago. So this leads me to believe that Javi might have been playing, or the same way he did to Lauren, right? Javi cheats on everybody. The same way he did to Lauren. He might have had this girl in the cut all this time, and he knew this was inappropriate and stuff, and he didn't want evidence of it. And Kail, being petty and miserable and wanting everybody to be miserable just like her, decided to post it up online anyway. Yeah. So to me, they both seem trash for this. It seems like Javi's playing yet another woman, and it seems like Kail is being, a bitter, petty baby mama as usual as well. A mess. These two are a mess, you guys. Honestly, it's so crazy to me that they both have multiple children. God help them. May says she's addicted to, we already talked about this. Yes. Lovely. She's probably just trying to make whatever girl who chose, over her mad by posting this. I agree, especially when you think, listen, Chris allegedly is living with his new girlfriend, with his new child. They are happy and everything. So she is pissed and she needs someone to take her anger out on. But listen, Javi, that's on you, bro, as well. She would not have ammo if you weren't out here being trifling. So you got to take responsibility for that as well. No one told you to shoot that video with her, knowing you got a chick somewhere. Emily, hi. It's got to be so confusing for her kids how hot and cold she is with their dads. Exactly. Like they were just doing the most. How long did they last this time, you guys? This was probably like the longest stretch that they were friendly again. I feel like this lasted like a good 2-3 months, before they fell out. So it's like, damn, poor Lincoln. And poor Isaac as well, because his relationship with Javi. Melanie, remember when Kail said her healthy co-parenting with Javi wouldn't change if he got a new girlfriend? Ha ha ha! Well, the lie detector test determined that was a lie. Exactly. That is exactly it. It's so funny. All that bragging she was doing about his co-parenting and stuff. Guys, keep listening to the podcasts or these recaps, whatever it is, because I just know now that it's out there that he's got a new girl. All of a sudden, remember, she would low-key trash Joe, of course, trash Chris, all just to hype up Javi's co-parenting and how he's the easiest and the most involved. Well, her tune is about to change now. Her tune is about to change. We'll see. Shawnetta, hey girl, let's take bets if she starts fighting with Javi's new girlfriend or go back to Chris. Why not both? Kail can take them both. Why not both? She's got enough misery to spread around. She's not stingy with it. Yeah, man, it really seems like Javi has a new girlfriend, and that is the reason why Kail went out of her way to post this video that he did not want up on the internet, and it's why she is refusing to delete it, and it's why she is laughing about the fact that he doesn't want it on the internet. Anyway, guys, you know I love doing these updates for you, right? I'm gonna keep an eye on it. And I will keep you guys, posted if anything changes, whatever happens. I'm going to do some digging, see what's going on in Javi's love life, who the next victim is. And we're going to have to circle back when I've got some updates, okay? Again, especially if you've been here for both live streams, the back-to-back, thank you so much for joining me today. It's always such a joy to do live streams with you. If you enjoy this, please make sure to give it a thumbs up on your way out. And if you're not yet subscribed, please do subscribe for more videos as well. Melanie, new girlfriend, or Lauren, new girlfriend. I think even Lauren has a limit to what she's willing to accept, I think she kind of, is reclaiming her last little bit of dignity. Mel, I was looking for the latest episode of Coffee Combos in my Spotify list, but I haven't seen one yet. I haven't seen one yet. But yeah, when it comes out, I will be recapping it. I was hoping to do it now, but it's not out yet. At least on my side. I'll do a refresh. You guys, again, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next stream. Take care. Bye.